Host. Mr. Yuntian, what is your dream? Yuntian. Help the sisters fulfill their dreams. Host. Oh, how many sisters do you have? Could you please let me know what dreams they all have? Yuntian. Not many, only 6 sisters. Their dreams are also very simple, nothing more than international superstars, super rich women, medical geniuses, painting masters, martial arts alliance leaders, culinary experts, all of which are small dreams. Host. Hiss, that's too difficult to complete, isn't it? You are really a crazy pet sister. Yuntian. Hee, I have already helped them complete it. Host. Uncle, do you still need a brother? Law. For Yuntian, who has a 100-fold recycling system, these dreams of the sisters are simply not worth mentioning. Keywords of the novel. From today on, be a godly hero without pop-ups. From today on, be a godly hero. Download the complete TXT collection, and from today on, be a godly hero reading the latest chapters. Chapter 1. Xiaoluoli Shenhao System. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 1 Xiaoluoli Shenhao System. PS. This book is fictionalized in a parallel world. For those who enjoy using age barriers, please take a detour. Thank you. The new book, My Celebrity Wife, has been officially released. Welcome to read. Oh my goodness, you wouldn't be so naughty, would you? You're so young, how could you make a tender and precious sword? In a dilapidated house, a little boy around 11 or 12 years old looked at himself in the mirror and cried in pain. He can barely accept the shrinking of age and other parts of his body. But let him be a 20-year-old boy. He really can't accept it, it's quite frustrating. Just as Yuntian was thinking about these things, a large amount of memories about this little boy also flooded into his mind. Oh, it's just that. This little guy is also destined for me. They all call me Yuntian. In my past life, I was an orphan, and in this life, it's quite nice to have 6 sisters who love me. After receiving all the memories of the little boy, Yuntian could only accept his fate and accept this cruel fact. However, the only thing that pleased Yuntian was his former host, who had 6 sisters who loved him very much. Ding dong, the system has captured one host brother alive and started binding. 109-8321, congratulations to the host, the system has been successfully bound. Host little brother, I am the cute and adorable Bai Bei recycling Shenhao system. From today on, you can call me Xiaobei. Just as Yuntian finished murmuring alone, a cute little lowly voice rang out in his mind. System. I'm going, my luck won't be so bad, will it? I'm still a god of the Lawatan system. Yuntian felt that this system seemed a bit stubborn, binding without his own consent. The novels he had read in his past life were not like this in the system. Sweeping away the gloom of being reborn as little Zhengtai, he quickly asked the system Xiaobei, what system are you? Are you powerful? Yuntian has read more than 10 system novels in his lifetime, what strange system has he never heard of? But what a 100-fold recycling system, he really hasn't heard of it. Returning to the host, little brother, Xiaobei is naturally very powerful. Xiaobei's main function is to recycle all the things that the host, Xiaobei, wants to recycle, and will return you 100 times the value of the item, regardless of whether it is damaged or new, explained the system Xiaobei. I can tell that the little lowly system is also a little proud when explaining. I'm going, you're not joking with me, are you? Recycling at 100 times the value, isn't that a big loss for you? This is a bit exaggerated, isn't it? Yuntian was very skeptical about the authenticity of what Xiaobei said, after all, it was too hard to believe. However, he vaguely felt that he might be going on a big fortune and making a fortune this time. Luxury cars, villas, beauties, big swords, wow kaka, that's not so beautiful. Of course, the most crucial thing is that once you have money, you can help your sisters achieve their dreams. After receiving the memory of the little boy, Yun Tian had already regarded his sister as his own. Sisters all have a small dream, and now with a 100-fold recycling system in Yun Tian, not to mention helping sisters achieve those small dreams. One day, even if he buys the entire planet and makes all his sisters empresses, there will be no problem. Returning to the host brother, the Xiaobei system can connect to Wanjie. That is to say, even if we recycle your items for 100 times the value, we can still sell them to other worlds for 100 times or even 1,000 times the price. Just as Yun Tian was thinking about a better life with his sisters in the future, the system Xiaobei explained. After hearing Xiaobei's explanation, Yun Tian's mouth slightly raised and his eyes caught a glimpse of the half-pack of Wei-long spicy strips that had not been eaten before. Wei-long spicy strips cost 3 yuan per pack, but you can give it a try. Yun Tian picked up the half-pack of spicy strips and immediately instructed the system, "What are you waiting for, Ma Lu? Give me this half-pack of spicy strips to recycle." Ding dong, system detection in progress. Ding dong, the system has detected that half a pack of Wei-long spicy strips has been recycled. The host has received 3 coins. Gold coins. What is that thing? Yun Tian was slightly taken aback and asked the system with some confusion, "Xiaobei, shouldn't it be 300 yuan in Chinese currency?" Return to the host, little brother. Gold coins are the universal currency of the system and can be used for shopping in the mall. If you need huaxia coins, you can also freely exchange the gold coins for huaxia coins in a ratio of 1.100. After hearing Yun Tian's question, the system Xiaobei explained and replied. "Oh, it turns out like this. So what are you waiting for? Hurry up and exchange those 3 gold coins for Chinese currency." After listening to the system's explanation, Yun Tian was also quite excited and hurriedly urged Xiaobei. "Ding dong, the system has exchanged 3 gold coins for 300 Chinese currency for you, the host. We have now used the deposit method and deposited it into your agricultural bank account. Please check it." Just as the system prompt had just fallen, the knockoff phone SMS ringtone in Yintian's pocket suddenly rang. He quickly took out his phone and found that the text message on it read, "Dear Mr. Yintian, your Agricultural Bank of China account ending in 9171 deposited 300 Chinese yuan on October 29, 2018, with a remaining balance of 318 yuan. I'm going, isn't the speed of receiving payments too fast? I've made a fortune, but this time I've really made a fortune. Let's start with the club's tender model sword." When Yun Tian saw his phone information, he was almost jumping with joy. Not to mention being a young model sword of the club, with the speed of making money, you can buy the entire club every minute. Of course, at Yun Tian's young age, if he were to go to Dabaojian, he would definitely not be able to bear it. Damn it, I made a fortune. If this pair of slippers sells for 1,000 yuan, it shouldn't be a problem. This English book can also be sold for 2,000 yuan, wow, it's really amazing. This one. It seems that it can also be sold. This can also be sold. After witnessing the power of the 100-fold recycling system, Yun Tian began to rummage through boxes and cabinets. What can be seen with the naked eye, whether it's textbooks or homework, besides clothes on the body, mobile phones, or bank cards? Everything that can be recycled is piled up by him. In his eyes, these things used to be just a pile of junk. But at this moment in his heart, those were all bright red Chinese coins, and he was about to cry with joy. System, come on, hurry up and recycle the labor costs. Wow, it's really amazing. It seems that I also need to learn from Mr. Wang and set a small goal. Buy it first and forget about even one demon. Yun Tian pointed to the pile of garbage in front of him and shouted excitedly at the system. P.S. New books require collection and recommendation tickets, with a minimum of 3 updates per day. For specific update rules, please refer to the comments and top posts. Thank you. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Shocking the whole class, seeking collection recommendation tickets. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 2 Shocking the whole class, seeking collection recommendation tickets. Ding dong, we have detected a small item inside and it has been recycled. The host has received 22 coins. Ding dong, a 7th grade English textbook has been detected and has been recycled. The host has received 18 gold coins. Ding dong, detected. In less than a minute, a pile of garbage on the ground was completely collected by the system. And Yuntian also obtained about 2,000 gold coins as a result. If exchanged for huaxia coins, it would be a full 200,000 huaxia coins. Xiaobei, hurry up, exchange everything for huaxia coins for me. Dear Mr. Yuntian, your Agricultural Bank of China account ending in 9171 deposited 198,764 renminbi on October 29, 2018, with a remaining balance of 199,082 renminbi. The next second, the SMS ringtone on Yuntian's phone rang again. Looking at the long string of numbers in the bank card, he was really excited. With such an incredible golden finger, it takes time to buy the entire planet. What he is currently lacking is money, so what can he buy? Gold coins in the system. That has no interest at all. Wow, it seems like this kind of journey is quite good now. In less than 10 minutes, I have already reached the pinnacle of my life. At this moment in Yuntian's heart, it's so beautiful. However, soon he thought of a very serious problem. Hurry up and ask the system, Xiaobei, there shouldn't be any problem with the origin of your money, right? I don't want to go to jail. Host brother, rest assured that all the money exchanged by the system for you has been cleared through normal channels, and you can use it with confidence. Oh, that's really great. After hearing the system's answer, Yuntian also breathed a sigh of relief. It is obvious that 200,000 Chinese coins cannot meet his needs at all. He felt it necessary to plan where to recycle items in order to earn more money. Xiaotian, what are you doing in your room? Hurry up and come out to eat. Just as he was thinking about these things, a girl's voice came from outside the door. Yuntian inherited the little boy's memory, and naturally, he immediately recognized who the owner of the voice was. Looking out the door, he answered casually, got it, Sister 6. Yuntian's sixth sister is named Yunman, a waiter at a 3-star hotel. Her childhood dream was to become a world-renowned chef. But the conditions at home are really poor, there is no money for her to learn cooking. In order to fulfill her dream, at the age of only 16, she went to a hotel to work as a waiter, hoping to steal some culinary skills. Sister Lu, what kind of dish are you stir-frying? It's really delicious. Yuntian picked up a gray-brown, spherical dish and asked his sixth sister. This is a dish that your sixth sister and I learned very hard. It's called stewed pork ball in brown sauce. How about it? Is it delicious? Upon hearing Yuntian's praise, Yunman also felt a little proud. You can eat first. Sister Lu, I may have to work overtime late at night. If you have nothing to do, you can rest early after finishing your homework. Sister, won't you eat some? This is so delicious. You eat it, I've already eaten it just now. You're growing your body and you need to eat more. Yunman reached out and gently rubbed Yuntian's small head, saying with great indulgence. After speaking, I went straight out. If someone had dared to rub Yuntian's head like this in a past life, he would definitely have had a fight with someone. But today, when Sister Lu placed her hand on his head, all he had was emotion. Sister, don't worry, I will be your younger brother for the rest of your life, and I will definitely make sure you live a good life. Watching the figure of sixth sister leaving, Yuntian secretly swore in his heart. After finishing his meal, he lay directly in bed and went to sleep. It's not that he doesn't want to do homework, but all of his textbooks and homework books have been recycled by the system. Even if he wants to write, there is nothing he can do. The next day at dawn, he obediently and consciously got on the bus to Lynching Middle School. Yuntian, lend me your math homework to copy, and I'll give you a lollipop. Yuntian, could you lend me a copy first? I'll give you 2 lollipops and a pack of internet-famous spicy strips. What do you think? He had just entered the classroom of class 131 in 7th grade when he was surrounded by a large group of classmates in his own class. You should know that Yuntian is not just a handsome young lady, but also an academic achiever. These classmates in the class, in order to be able to copy his homework, can also be said to have suffered a lot of bleeding. Sorry, I didn't bring my homework today. Besides, 2 lollipops. Are you humiliating me? At least in his past life, Yuntian was also a young man in his 20s. Now these little brats are using these things to seduce him, which is really a bit ridiculous. Damn it, Yuntian, what do you mean? Are you trying to raise the price? I'm your monthly customer, you need to think carefully. After hearing Yuntian's words, the classmates stopped working, thinking that he must have thought the salary was too low and wanted to raise the price. However, Yuntian didn't even glance at them and walked straight to the class monitor Wang Hao. Wang Hao, please copy your homework for me, he said as his mouth slightly raised. Hiss, is this kid stupid? Isn't he a top student? Why do you still copy someone else's homework? However, he dares to ask Wang Hao for homework copying, that's really impressive. Classmates are all waiting to see the good play of Yuntian. After all, Wang Hao is famous for playing official roles. Throughout, due to Yuntian's excellence, he has also been overshadowed as the class monitor. His current position as class monitor is still something that Yuntian doesn't want to do, which is why it falls on him. In the eyes of his classmates, now Yuntian dares to ask him to copy his homework, which is a disgrace to himself. Sure enough, when Wang Hao heard Yuntian's words, he sneered and said, "Hee, you want me to lend you my homework to copy? Do you think you're my dad? 100 yuan. What do you mean?" The meaning is, if you copy me, I'll give you 100 yuan. Yuntian was too lazy to talk nonsense to him, so he smashed the 131 class, the highest price ever for copying homework. Hiss, my goodness, isn't it? Did Yuntian hit 5 million? After hearing Yuntian's words, all the classmates in the class took a deep breath, and even their chins were about to fall in shock. And class monitor Wang Hao, at this moment, was also a bit hesitant. Faced with the temptation of a huge sum of 100 yuan, he really felt a bit tempted. However, when he remembered the harsh words he had just released, he hesitated a bit. He is the class monitor of class 131. If he really copied Yuntian, it would be like treating Yuntian as his father. Just as he was in a dilemma, Yuntian spoke up again, 1,000 yuan. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Who is your sister? In law. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Who is your sister? In law. Hiss, is he crazy? He actually gave out 1,000 yuan just to copy homework. How rich. Although I have always had a crush on Yuntian, I found that he looks particularly handsome today. I think so too. I really want to have a monkey with him. Yuntian's big hand was like a depth bomb, and the classmates in the class instantly exploded. It has to be said that this is unprecedented, and many little fans have cast a seductive eye at him. However, for Yuntian, the girls in the class are all mediocre and vulgar fans, and he doesn't even pay attention to them. I promised you, here are assignments for every subject, all for you. At this moment, Wang Hao could no longer resist the temptation of money and handed all his homework books to Yuntian. As long as he has 1,000 yuan, even if he is asked to call Yuntian dad in front of so many classmates, he is not a problem. And Yuntian had long guessed that this guy would agree. After all, as the saying goes, money can make MO push ghosts. If MO is unwilling to push ghosts, it can only prove that the offered price is not enough. Don't give it to me anymore. You can give it to me after you make a copy of everything, understand? Yun Tian didn't go to pick up Wang Hao's homework book, but waved his hand gracefully and said, "Do you want me to copy it for you?" Wang Hao originally thought that he could just copy the homework book for Yun Tian himself, but he didn't expect to ask for his help. "What? You don't want to? Okay, I'll let someone else help me." Yun Tian pursed his lips and said with a slightly upturned corner of his mouth. "Don't, I'll copy it. I'll help you copy it now." Upon hearing Yun Tian say he wanted to copy someone else, Wang Hao became anxious and quickly grabbed Yun Tian's arm, speaking humbly. "There's no way, the 1,000 yuan promised by Yun Tian is too tempting for him to refuse." "Then hurry up." Yun Tian calmly shook off Wang Hao's hand that grabbed his arm, turned his head, and said to the other classmates in the class, "Who of you has all the extra teaching materials?" 1,000 yuan, I'll take all of them. Last night, Yun Tian recycled everything he could see with the naked eye to the system, including his teaching materials. He is a student. If he doesn't even have a textbook, what else would he attend? And if the older sisters find out that they have lost even their textbooks, even if the older sisters hurt him again, they will definitely give him a chubby beating when they go back. However, nowadays Yun Tian is a wealthy person, and there are very few things in this world that money cannot buy. He decided to spend money directly and buy textbooks from his classmates. For him, who has a 100-fold recycling system, even if he spends 1,000 yuan to buy a few textbooks, it is still a steady profit and not a loss. After all, if he recycles any book to the system, it will cost several thousand yuan, especially now that he has a full 200,000 yuan in his bank account. "Brother Tian, can I sell you my textbooks? Coincidentally, I don't love learning either. I'll go. Just your books that look like fried dough twists books, so you can sell them to Brother Tian. Don't look at his identity." "That's right, Tian Gu. My book can be much newer than Gooden's book. You should buy mine instead. I hate reading the most." Previously, classmates who were still regretful for not studying well and earning Wang Hao 1,000 yuan in vain, quickly picked up their textbooks and surrounded Yun Tian after hearing his words. The title of Yun Tian changed from directly calling him by name to Tian Gu. In the end, Yun Tian also spent 1,000 yuan to buy all his teaching materials from a guy who really doesn't love learning. The morning rushed by, and after lunch, Yun Tian prepared to take a nap in the classroom. But just as he lay down, a chubby man anxiously shouted at him at the classroom door, "Yun Tian, it's not good. Zhang Yan and his people are going to smash my sister-in-law's small shop. You should go and take a look." "Damn it, don't shout like that. Who's so special about your sister-in-law?" After hearing the fat man's words, Yun Tian stood up from his seat and came to the fat man, cursing in displeasure. "What's so urgent? Let's talk about it. What's going on?" Yun Tian placed his hand on the fat man's arm and asked slowly. "I'll go, my goodness, this is not your style. How do I feel? You seem like a different person today." The fat man looked up and down at Yun Tian and said incredulously, "If this were to happen before, you would definitely go and beat up Zhang Yan's grandson as soon as you heard such news. In fact, chubby people are just giving face to Yun Tian." In the past, Yun Tian and Zhang Yan had never won a fight, and basically every time they were beaten, their faces and noses were bruised. There's no other way. Zhang Yan is a 9th grade student, 2 grades older than Yun Tian. Moreover, Zhang Yan is the leader of the 4 little bullies in the school, and there are many people under his command who pretend to be coerced by him. "Hey, I won't say so much anymore. You'd better go and take a look quickly." The fat man pulled Yun Tian towards the small shop and said to him, "Maybe after you go, Zhang Yan and his team will beat you up and get tired, so they won't smash their sister-in-law's shop again. Maybe when my sister-in-law is moved, you too can do it. Hee hee." After hearing the fat man's words, Yun Tian also directly labeled him as the best bad friend. Even if you're trying to trick your friends, isn't that a trick? When Yun Tian and his companions arrived at the school's small shop, the entrance of the shop was already crowded with onlookers watching the play. It's lunchtime now, and the teachers have already gone for lunch break, so no one cares at all. The fat man pulled the cloud and pushed away the melon-eating crowd, quickly squeezing to the front. At this moment, Yun Tian also realized that Zhang Yan was standing in front of the counter of the snack shop with more than 10 subordinates, flipping through the drawers. Chen Xinyan, who was called Sister.in.law by the chubby man, was standing trembling in the corner with her mother, letting Zhang Yan and the others rummage through the drawers. "Old man, are you fooling me? Is this little money enough for interest?" Zhang Yan and his companions rummaged in the drawer for a while, but only found around 100 yuan. They slapped the counter directly and said fiercely to Chen Xinyan's mother. This also frightened Chen Xinyan's mother and daughter enough. Chen's mother trembled a bit and said, "Zhang, please tell Mr. Zhang to grant me another month's grace. After I sell the store, I will definitely repay the money. You can raise your hand a bit. It's not easy for us orphans and widows. If it weren't for treating Xinyan's father's illness, we wouldn't have borrowed high-interest loans. Please have mercy on us." After Chen Muhong finished speaking with tears in her eyes, regardless of how many onlookers were watching, she knelt directly in front of Zhang Yan and his group. "He, pity you. Who will pity us? I'll tell you, today you either repay the money, or we'll take your daughter away and let her sit on the stage. You'll take care of it yourself." Zhang Yan sneered. Although he is not very old, he has played with many women. A beautiful girl like Chen Xinyan has been coveting him for a long time, and today happens to be an opportunity. P.S. Collect and recommend tickets for a wave, V587. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Everything is garbage. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Everything is garbage, don't, Mr. Zhang, can we? After hearing Zhang Yan's words, Chen Xinyan was scared back several steps, and Chen's mother quickly wanted to beg for mercy. However, before she could finish speaking, Zhang Yan impatiently interrupted, "No. He has been envious of Chen Xinyan for a long time, how could he just beg for mercy and let it go? Have you considered it clearly? Should we repay us 150,000 now or should we take your daughter away?" He looked at Chen Xinyan obscenely, the developing Xiaoluoli licked his chapped lips, and said grimly to Chen's mother who was kneeling on the ground. 150,000, isn't it 100,000? Zhang Gongzi, can't you do this? Chen's mother, kneeling on the ground, asked Zhang Yan in confusion after hearing his words. 100,000. Are you dreaming? Zhang Yan pursed his lips and sneered, "Do you understand what high-interest loans are? Do you think borrowing money doesn't require interest? Isn't the interest agreed upon? The principal is 70,000 yuan, and I will pay back 100,000 yuan in a month. Why is there another 170,000 yuan now?" Chen's mother had already shed tears. Before borrowing the money, she knew it was a high-interest loan. But she never expected that the high interest rate would be so outrageous. "That's right, my old man did tell you 100,000 yuan before. However, you have been overdue for a week now, and the overdue fee is 10,000 yuan per day. Hurry up and get the money, not to mention the ones that are not available." Zhang Yan was already a bit impatient, and when Chen's mother said she didn't have money, he was ready to order his subordinates to take away Chen Xinyan directly. In his perception, that is killing to pay for one's life, debt to pay for money. As long as Chen's mother does not repay the money, he feels that even if he robs someone, it is still reasonable. "Zhang Yan, this is a bit outrageous, isn't it? The overdue fee is 10,000 yuan per day, why don't you go grab it?" "That's right, Auntie didn't say she wouldn't pay you back, and she has already knelt down and begged you. What's wrong with giving someone a break? That's right, you're going too far. I see, you're just trying to bully Chen Xinyan. His words immediately made the onlookers unable to bear it anymore, and they all criticized Zhang Yan. Damn it, how do labor and management handle things? Do you still need your guidance? Which class are you from, and you? You. Be careful after school. Zhang Yan didn't even pay attention to the accusations from his classmates. He casually pointed to the few classmates who had just been shouting fiercely and spoke harshly towards them. I'm so tired. I need to go back to the classroom and sleep. Me too. If you don't say I'm not tired yet, but you say I'm also tired, let's go together. It has to be said that Zhang Yan is really a bully-like presence in school, and those classmates who were pointed out by him immediately confessed. I quickly found a reason and left the scene, looking very embarrassed. And other classmates who had previously followed suit unconsciously stepped back, afraid that this guy would call the roll again. Zhang Yan couldn't help feeling proud when he saw how scared the melon-eating crowd was of him. Glancing at Chen's mother kneeling on the ground with tears streaming down her face, she instructed her subordinates behind her, "Brothers, it's only natural for us to owe money. Since this old man doesn't want to pay it back, let's use her daughter to offset the debt and take action. Don't, young Master Zhang, please spare my daughter. I beg you." After hearing Zhang Yan's words, Chen's mother also became a bit anxious. She quickly wiped her tears and hugged Zhang Yan's thigh, pleading bitterly. Damn it, labor management. These are newly bought Armani pants. If you dirty them, can you afford to pay? Zhang Yan, who was hugged by Chen's mother's thigh, cursed with disdain on his face. After cursing, he kicked Chen's mother to the ground with just one kick. At this moment, Zhang Yan's 7 or 8 henchmen also showed a very lewd smile and pushed towards Chen Xinyan. Stop it, why are you so shameless when so many of you bully an orphan or widowed mother? At this moment, the chubby man standing next to Yun Tian stood up and pointed at Zhang Yan and his few lackeys, cursing very impolitely. Damn it, chubby guy. You're the longevity god hanging yourself, don't you think your life is too long? You dare to take care of Brother Zhang's affairs. One of the dog legs pointed at the fat man and threatened fiercely. Humph, my boss said, Zhang Yan is a loser. In front of my boss, that's just trash. The fat man was not afraid of his threat at all, and with a firm back, he snorted coldly. At this moment, Yun Tian also admired the fat man very much. After all, he was the second one to dare to slap Yan Yan in the face like this. The first one, of course, is him in the clouds. If the chubby guy didn't choose to stand up just now, he was also prepared to stand up. He was just a little curious. When did the fat guy recognize a boss who dared to say that Zhang Yan was garbage? Damn it, who's your boss? Dare to say I'm garbage, you let him stand up on his own, and even his mother doesn't know him if I don't hit him. After hearing the fat man's words, Zhang Yan couldn't help but look at him fiercely. He is Zhang Yan, the leader of Linqing Middle School. I never expected that someone would dare to scold him for being trash. At this moment, he was also very angry. When everyone didn't expect it, the fat man turned his head and said anxiously to Yun Tian, "Boss, what should we do now? He said he wanted to hit you, and even your mother didn't know you. Damn it, you're not as cunning as your brothers. Do you really want to use beating me to divert their attention?" At this moment, Yun Tian also had a bewildered expression on his face. He never expected that the arrogant boss in the fat man's mouth would actually be him. To be honest, he really wanted to say to everyone at this moment, I really don't know this chubby guy. It's not surprising that Yun Tian has such thoughts, after all, the other party has a clear advantage in terms of numbers, and he only has him and the fat guy on his side. If there really is a fight, then there will only be a chance of getting beaten up. Although he is also a systematic boy now, that system cannot help him in this aspect. Damn it, are you the boss of this chubby guy? Zhang Yan looked in the direction of the fat man and immediately recognized Yun Tian, mocking him. Yun Tian, did you say I'm garbage? It seems you're feeling itchy again because I didn't beat you into the hospital last time, right? After hearing Zhang Yan's words, Yun Tian also furrowed his brows. To be honest, he really doesn't want to admit that he's the boss of this chubby guy, and besides, he's not the one. However, so many people are watching him now, even the school flower Chen Xinyan is like this. If Yun naively retreats at this moment, it would be a bit embarrassing. He is a man with a system, how can he be so cowardly? Without hesitation, he took a step forward and said to Zhang Yan, don't misunderstand me. Don't listen to this chubby guy talking nonsense. I'm not targeting you. After hearing Yun Tian's words, everyone showed a disappointed expression, while Zhang Yan was extremely proud. However, after a pause, Yun Tian continued, I just want to say, not just you, but all the people you bring are garbage. P.S. This book has been signed internally, please rest assured to read it. Here are some recommended tickets and favorites to encourage you. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Money can make MO push ghosts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Money can make MO push ghosts. Shit, stinky kid, what do you mean? You think we dare not beat you, right? That's right, you guys are in 9th grade. If you dare to provoke us, are you trying to kill us? As soon as Yun Tian finished speaking, those Zhang Yan lackeys couldn't bear it anymore and rolled up their sleeves to beat Yun Tian. When Yun Tian had already stood up, he had already anticipated such a scene, so he had already figured out a way to deal with it. Although the fat man was a bit scared, he didn't admit it. After picking up 2 stones on the ground, he was ready to fight. However, at this moment, Yun Tian raised a finger and said to the onlookers, 100 yuan. What does he mean? What, 100 yuan? I don't know, it's inexplicable. When Yun Tian shouted out 100 yuan, the onlookers, including the melon-eating crowd and Zhang Yan and his group, all looked bewildered. But as a chubby fellow student and good brother of Yun Tian, at this moment, it seemed that he understood Yun Tian's meaning and couldn't help but show a look of admiration. What I mean is, as long as my classmates can help me beat up Zhang Yan and his gang, I will give you 100 yuan each. Yun Tian's mouth slightly curved upwards, revealing a fox-like smile as he explained to the melon-eating crowd. Damn it, really fake. Oh my god, 100 yuan. TSK, if you give me 100 yuan, even if you let me beat up our homeroom teacher, that's no problem. Count me in, this money will be earned through labor and capital. Don't even beat Zhang Yan, I dare to beat the principal. Count me in. It has to be said that the saying, money can make grinding and pushing ghosts, has been widely used by Yun Tian. Faced with such a big move from him, 30 to 40 people immediately stepped forward, and the number of people is constantly showing an upward trend. As these foodies say, as long as you give them 100 yuan, not to mention beating a school bully, even if you go to beat the principal, it's not a big problem. Damn it, how dare you? Are you trying to die? That's right, brother Zhang. You all dare to beat me up and don't want to live anymore. Zhang Yan and his team never expected that Yun Tian would use this move with them. Such a formation really scared them. Originally, they could have completely crushed the 2 of Yun Tian, but within a minute, the situation immediately underwent a major reversal. There's no way, they can only rely on Zhang Yan's usual prestige in the hearts of their classmates to suppress them now. Let's all go up together and beat up these damn things. However, the melon-eating crowd has long been blinded by money, how can they care whether you are a bully or not? Roll up your sleeves and you'll be beaten up. And Zhang Yan's subordinates, faced with dozens of times the weight of the melon-eating crowd, were completely powerless to resist. In less than a minute, Zhang Yan and his subordinates, who had been beaten by the onlookers, lay on the ground with bruises and swollen faces, howling in agony. 7 or 8 people, including Zhang Yan, have all hung the lottery. Alright, everyone stop. Yun Tian saw that he was almost beaten up. If he continued to fight, there was a high possibility of losing life. He quickly shouted to everyone. After hearing Yun Tian's words, they all stopped their movements and looked at him one after another. Thank you all very much this time. Please register with Fatty later. Before the afternoon class, I will transfer all the money to you. For Carrie, who has a cloud sky of 200,000 yuan, he still thinks it's worth it to beat Zhang Yan into this B. shape with these few thousand yuan. This little student, you have caused a big trouble this time. At this moment, Chen's mother quickly came to Yun Tian's side and said anxiously to him. Others don't know about Zhang Yan's family background, but she is very clear about it. Now that Yun Tian has beaten him up, this matter will definitely not be so easy to solve. It's okay, auntie. Don't worry, since I dare to have someone beat him up, I'm not afraid of him retaliating. Yun Tian gave Chen's mother a reassuring look and said with a smile, Auntie, I heard that your small shop needs to be transferred. I wonder if you have found a buyer. When Yun Tian saw the dazzling array of goods in this small shop, he immediately thought of a way to get rich. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Oh, it's not that easy to find. Otherwise, I would have returned the money to them long ago. Chen's mother sighed and said. Great, since you haven't found a buyer, Auntie, I'll take your small shop and give you 100,000 yuan. What do you think? In fact, it's just Chen Xinyan's small shop. Although it's located in the school, it's really not worth 100,000 yuan when combined, at most it's only around 700,000 to 80,000 yuan. However, for Yun Tian, even if he gave his family 100,000 yuan, it was impossible for him to lose. After all, as long as Yun Tian resells the goods in this small shop to the system, it can be worth hundreds of times more. If the goods are sold to the system for 70,000 yuan, it would be over 7 million yuan, which is not a small amount. May I ask, which middle school student can have nearly 10 million yuan of pocket money in their bank card? No need, my store is only worth over 70,000 yuan at most. Just give me 70,000 yuan. If it were before beating Zhang Yan, Chen's mother would definitely think that Yun Tian's statement about buying a store was a joke. After all, Yun Tian's age seems to be about the same as her daughter's, and if she could have more than 10 yuan in her pocket, it would already be a lot. If you want to spend 60,000 or 70,000 yuan to buy a storefront, it's just a fantasy. However, when she saw the scene where Yun Tian each paid 100 yuan and asked her classmates to beat Zhang Yan, she had already positioned Yun Tian as a second-generation wealthy person, and was not as shocked as she had imagined that he could spend around 100,000 yuan to buy his own storefront. Yun Tian did not argue with Chen's mother, but turned around and came to Zhang Yan, who was still howling on the ground. Squatting down, he grabbed his hair and patted his face with his hand. With a cold gaze, he said, I bought Aunt Chen in her store and gave you 100,000 yuan. Do you have any objections? No problem. Zhang Yan is not a fool either. After being beaten hard, how dare he show off? Moreover, even if they only recover 100,000 yuan, their family still earns a lot. Well, take out your phone and I'll transfer the money to you now. After hearing Yun Tian's words, Zhang Yan obediently took out his own phone. After some operation, Yun Tian directly transferred 100,000 yuan to his card. Facing Zhang Yan, who was still lying on the ground pretending to howl, he said with sharp eyes, Zhang Yan, please remember for me that from today on, you must not trouble Chen Xinyan and her daughter again. If you're still a man, just come at me if you have any skills. It's best for you to disappear from me now. Although Yun Tian appeared to be only 12 years old, the words he said were quite manly and very pretentious. Many of the girls who were watching were captivated by Yun Tian's words, and even the school flower Chen Xinyan's gaze towards Yun Tian was full of brilliance. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. You are really handsome today. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. You are really handsome today. After hearing Yin Tian's words, Zhang Yan and his companion struggled to get up from the ground. He said to Yin Tian, after you waited and spoke harshly, you immediately ran away. Let's all scatter now, there's nothing else to look at. Seeing Zhang Yan and the others have all left, Yin Tian said to the onlookers. Turning his head to look at the fat guy, I just transferred 10,000 yuan to you. You go distribute it to the classmates who are helping. I have something else to talk to Aunt Chen about. The fat man nodded and left the small shop with the onlookers eating melons. Little classmate, thank you so much today. Don't worry, I will definitely find a way to return the remaining 30,000 yuan to you. After everyone had left, Chen's mother also said gratefully to Yin Tian. Auntie, just call me Yin Tian. As for the 30,000 yuan, you really don't need to pay it back. Anyway, I'm not short of money either. This is not that Yin Tian wants to pretend to be coerced in front of the mother and daughter. After all, with 100 times recycling system, he really doesn't lack this money. That's not enough. Let's not say if you're short of money for now. You and your aunt are not relatives, and 30,000 yuan is not a small amount. We must repay this money. Yin Tian didn't expect Chen Xinyan's mother to have such a good character. Auntie, if that's the case, then you can stay in this small shop and help me work in the future. I'll give you a monthly salary of 3,500 yuan. What do you think? Yin Tian had no choice but to say coincidentally, Yin Tian is worried about the development of the small shop in the future. After all, he does not have experience in this area. If we could keep Chen's mother and continue to help us run our small shop now, it would also be a good choice. As for the salary of 3,500 yuan, Yin Tian also thinks it's just right. If it's too much, Chen's mother is likely not to agree. Sure enough, after Yin Tian finished speaking, Chen's mother happily agreed. Alright, Auntie, I'm planning to find someone to renovate this small shop. You can start working in a week, and your salary will be paid for this week. Yin Tian also found a reason to get rid of the mother and daughter first. After all, if they were present, he wouldn't be able to recycle the goods in the small shop. Well, then let's go first. After greeting Yin Tian, Chen's mother took Chen Xinyan towards the direction of the school gate. However, soon Yin Tian saw the school flower Chen Xinyan and ran back. Arriving in front of Yin Tian, he said to him with a mosquito-like sound, Yin Tian, my mother wants to ask if you are available this Saturday night. She wants to invite you to our house for dinner. After saying these words, Chen Xinyan's fair little face was already covered in rosy clouds, feeling extremely shy. Although the little girl's voice was very quiet, Yin Tian could still hear clearly. Since it was Chen's mother's intention, he did not refuse. He nodded at Chen Xinyan and said, tell Auntie that I will go on time and say thank you for me and Auntie. Okay, thank you for what happened today. You're really handsome today. Chen Xinyan didn't know why she said such shameful things. After speaking, before Yin Tian could react, he fled the scene directly. After hearing these words, Yin Tian also looked bewildered and couldn't help but mutter softly, what's so handsome today? Has he always been so handsome? There is no way, this is the attribute of a steel-straight man. Although Yin Tian was a young man of 20 in his previous life, he has never been in love. It's not that he doesn't want to talk, but rather that in his past life, he was a soldier in service, and his steel-like discipline also forged his steel-like straight male attributes. I didn't think too much about it. After all, the focus now is to recycle the entire convenience store to the system. After locking the door of the convenience store, Yin Tian looked at the dazzling array of goods and was so happy that his mouth was about to crack open. Ha ha ha, once you get rich, labor and capital will soon become millionaires. Yin Tian laughed heartily and ordered to the system Xiao Bei, hurry up, silly, give me all the things here to recycle. Ding dong, system detection in progress, ding dong, 120 packs of Weilong spicy strips have been detected and have been recycled. The host has received 360 coins. Ding dong, 58 packets of pickled pepper chicken feet have been detected and have been recycled. The host has received 203 gold coins. Ding dong, 234 packs of raccoon crispy noodles have been detected and have been recycled. The host has received 234 gold coins. Ding dong, detected, in less than a minute, all the goods in the convenience store were collected and emptied. After recycling these goods, Yuntian also received nearly 80,000 gold coins as a result. He didn't hesitate at all and directly exchanged all the 80,000 gold coins into Chinese currency. Dear Mr. Yuntian, your Agricultural Bank of China account with ending number 9171 deposited 784,3827 Chinese yuan on October 30, 2018, with a remaining balance of 8,030,909 yuan. Looking at the series of numbers in his bank card, he also sat on the chair of the convenience store and counted them several times. There's no way, let alone in this lifetime. Even in his past life, he had never seen so much money. Haha, it seems that with just a little more effort, I can help my sisters get a bigger house. By the way, we also need to buy a sports car for each of our sisters. No, the sports car is too low. Let's just buy a private plane for each of them. He indulged in lust for about 10 minutes in the convenience store before opening the door and walking out. In order to prevent anyone from discovering the empty interior of the convenience store, he directly locked the door with a large lock. And at the entrance of the convenience store, the words, "Internal decoration suspended business," were posted. If he doesn't do this, the goods in the store will be missing. If people find out, it will inevitably be a bit troublesome. After finishing all of this, Yun Tian returned to the classroom, only a few minutes before the afternoon class time. The class time is always dull and boring, and besides, Yun Tian has already learned these knowledge in his lifetime. He has no other way to pass this boring time besides sleeping. Spending time like a year is usually a feeling for academic underachievers, but at this moment, the clouds also have the same feeling. Teacher O, who was giving a lecture in class, was also very unhappy to see Yun Tian dare to sleep while he was giving a lecture. In order to embarrass Yun Tian in front of all his classmates, he specially created a chemical equation on the blackboard that only 8th grade students can learn. Arriving at Yun Tian's desk, he knocked on his desk and said, "Yun Tian, since you dare to sleep in class, it proves that you already know what the teacher said. Now, go up and solve that equation for me. If you can't solve it, go to the classroom door and punish me. P.S. Please recommend tickets and collect them." End of this chapter. Chapter 7. If you want money, just wait patiently. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. If you want money, just wait patiently. Our teacher O is really tough. Yuntian was sleeping all day just now, he can knit a yarn. Hee, even if you don't sleep, you can't solve it. We haven't learned this before, have we? Damn it, isn't this the kid who put up a trap in the sky? It seems like he must go to the door and stand for punishment. TSK, the top students in our school are going to be punished by standing at the entrance soon. This is a heavyweight news. After hearing Teacher O's words, the students looked at the still somewhat bewildered sky and whispered their opinions. Class monitor Wang Hao's face was also full of mockery. He deserved it. He thought a little stinky money was enough. How dare he sleep in Teacher O's class? That question is an 8th grade chemistry equation. If he can answer it, I'll call him Dad. When Wang Hao said these things, he completely forgot what a servant he looked like in the morning to earn 1,000 yuan from Yun Tian. Yun Tian rubbed his sleepy eyes and stumbled up the podium, taking a brief look at the equation. Then, amidst the shocked gazes of everyone, he began to write vigorously without any pause. Mr. O below, his gaze towards Yun Tian had already begun to glow with green light, and he muttered softly, "Genius, this is really genius. Upon hearing Teacher O's grumbling, Yun Tian didn't take it seriously. After all, this kind of question is too childish for him. But when Teacher O's mutter is heard in the ears of other students, the meaning is different. Many female classmates wish to rush forward and kiss Yun Tian wildly at this moment. And the male classmates in the class, including Wang Hao, are all envious and jealous of Yun Tian. In current terms, Yun Tian is a reliable and handsome person, but how could he not make these losers envy, and hate him? The last class is taught by the homeroom teacher, Teacher Chui. The first few classes were all in the clouds, but during Teacher Chui's class, he was full of energy. No way, Teacher Chui is famous for being strict with students, whether you are a top student or a bottom student. As long as you dare to sleep in his classroom, be prepared to invite parents. He doesn't want to invite his sisters to school. In that case, I'm sure my butt will bloom when I go back. Classmates, tomorrow during our school morning self-study, there will be a very important guest coming. To show our school's welcome to him, every class must gather on the playground after breakfast, do you know? When the bell rang for the end of class, Teacher Chui used a blackboard brush to tap on the podium and spoke to the students below. After speaking, he even glanced at Wang Hao sitting in his seat, feeling somewhat proud. Got it. The classmates answered in unison. After Teacher Chui left, the fat man came to Yun Tian's seat. Muttering to Yun Tian, "Tiana, what big shot is he? He really wants so many of us classmates to welcome him. The score is really big. Shoo, chubby guy, please keep your voice down. I heard that big shot seems to be some relative of Wang Hao's family. I heard he used to be a student of our school too." "That's right, I've heard about it too. It seems like I was admitted to Tsinghua University in the imperial capital back then, and now I'm working as the CEO of a foreign company. I'm coming back this time as if I'm planning to donate money to our school." The classmates whispered and argued, not knowing where they came from, but also hearing the rumors through the grapevine. Although their voices were not loud, they were still heard by Wang Hao, who was about to pretend to be coerced. He tilted his lips slightly upwards and said proudly, "Hee, you're all right. The big shot that the old class just talked about is my uncle's son. My cousin used to be a student in the old class. When he returned from the imperial capital this time, he plans to donate 100,000 yuan to our school and replace all those old antique computers with new ones." "Hiss, Wang Hao, are you telling the truth? Oh my goodness, your cousin is really rich, wealthy. Yeah, then we really need to give your cousin a good welcome. Even if he's successful, he won't forget his alma mater." "Huh, classmates, this is not the point. The point is that we will have new computers to use in the future, and we won't have the urge to get stuck and smash them anymore." "That's right, thank you very much to Wang Hao's cousin. He's such a good person." After listening to Wang Hao's words, the students all became excited and gave him thumbs up. And Wang Hao was also extremely proud, casting a contemptuous look at Yun Tian. The meaning seems to be saying, "Did you see it, little sample? I thought having a few stinky money was just amazing. My cousin is much richer than you." The next morning, after finishing breakfast, the teacher and classmates lined up neatly and waited on the playground. The school and Wang Hao's cousin have agreed to meet at 7:30 in the morning. However, the teacher and classmates waited until 8 o'clock, but still couldn't see the figure of that big shot. The teachers are somewhat worried that waiting like this may affect the students' learning. Moreover, waiting like this is not a big deal. The principal said to Yun Tian's homeroom teacher, "Old Chui, can you give Wang Peng a call and see when he can arrive?" "Well, that's good, I'll call him now." Coincidentally, Teacher Chui couldn't wait any longer. He took out his phone, found Wang Peng's number, and dialed it. However, what Teacher Chui didn't expect was that when he called for the first time, the other person hung up the phone directly. There was no way, Teacher Chui could only make another call, just like the first time, only to ring twice and then hang up. It wasn't until the third call that the call was answered. Just as the phone was connected, a man's voice came from across, shouting and cursing, "I didn't sleep in the early morning, did I hit you? Hit you? Are you sick?" When she heard this sound, Teacher Chui also felt a wave of embarrassment. You should know that his phone is the kind of elderly phone with a loud voice, and when the other party scolds him, everyone can hear it clearly. Although Teacher Chui was a bit angry, he eventually suppressed his anger. "I thought to myself, maybe the other party didn't save his number, that's why it's like this, which is understandable. After all, Teacher Chui used to be, but this is Wang Peng's teacher. I believe if Wang Peng knew that it was Teacher Chui who called him, he wouldn't have this attitude. Wang Peng, it's me. I'm Teacher Chui. When are you coming to school? Our teachers and classmates have been waiting for almost an hour." Teacher Chui calmed down and said politely to Wang Peng on the other end of the phone. "Damn it, Lao Chui, are you really sick? Just waking me up for such a trivial matter, what's wrong with waiting for over an hour? If you want money, just wait patiently for the labor management." After speaking, he hung up the phone directly. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. I donate 1 million. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. I donate 1 million. What everyone didn't expect was that when the other party found out that the caller was Teacher Chui, they still had such an attitude. At this moment it was not only Teacher Chui's expression that was extremely difficult to see, but also the principal and other teachers, who were the same. Just now, Wang Peng's words hit all the teachers in the face, and for a while, many teachers had the impulse to shake their hands and leave. However, now that the principal is also here, they all turned their gaze to the principal, waiting for him to make a decision. This seeing everyone looking at him, the principal also felt very embarrassed. He naturally would also be very unhappy with Wang Peng's attitude on the phone just now. However, when he thought that with that 100,000 yuan, the school could replace the students with a new batch of computers, he hesitated a bit. Humph, what's there to hesitate about? It's just a meager 100,000 yuan, making yourself look like a god of wealth. What's the point of pretending? Just when the principal couldn't pay attention, Yun Tian stood in the crowd and snorted coldly. You should know that what Yun Tian admires most in this school is his homeroom teacher, Teacher Chui. Now he has been scolded by Wang Peng, who has no conscience, and he is also quite angry. Yun Tian, what do you mean? Did my cousin make a mistake by donating money to the school? After hearing Yun Tian's words, Wang Hao, as Wang Peng's cousin, naturally couldn't stand it anymore and retorted to Yun Tian with displeasure. Donating money is right, but pretending to be forced is not right. Is 100,000 yuan really impressive? Teacher Chui has been frugal for so many years, and the money donated to students is not less than him. That's right. What kind of big-tailed wolf would you dare to insult Teacher Chui? Has your conscience been eaten by the dog? I've heard that Wang Peng didn't have the money to go to school, but Teacher Chui advanced a month's salary to pay his tuition on his behalf. To Wang Hao's surprise, he didn't say it was okay. As soon as he spoke up to defend his cousin, it immediately aroused public anger. Not only are students holding grudges, but even some teachers criticize Wang Peng for having no conscience. Everyone, please be quiet. Almost all the students on the playground couldn't help but say, classmates, your Teacher Chui has been scolded, and our hearts are also very unhappy. However, children, if you want to learn knowledge well, having good teachers alone is not enough. You also need good learning equipment. So, I hope you can all understand our hard work as teachers. The principal did not expect the students' emotions to be so strong, and now he can only do his best to appease them and Teacher Chui. Principal, isn't it just a meager 100,000 yuan? At most, we can only buy 1 or 20 computers. Teacher Chui is the pride of our school, why should we suffer this humiliation? As soon as the principal finished speaking, Yun Tian walked out of the class crowd and asked the principal on stage in confusion. I don't know why, when the principal and teachers on stage saw Yun Tianho walking out of the class. Surprisingly, they could see from him a calm and composed demeanor that did not belong to his age, and their eyes were also full of admiration. As for Teacher Cui, her heart is filled with satisfaction, thinking that her persistence for so many years has finally been recognized. You should know that there used to be many people who thought he was completely foolish when he did this. But only he knows how happy he is when he helps those poor children, and he never regrets it. Child, you're still young and don't understand the value of 100,000 yuan, you. The principal noticed that Yun Tian's values seemed to be somewhat incorrect, and even in front of so many teachers, he said he only had a meager 100,000 yuan. So, he wanted to talk to Yun Tian about how high the value of 100,000 yuan island. But before he could finish speaking, Yun Tian raised a finger and said, I can donate 1 million to the school, but I have a request. Hiss, what are you saying? The principal couldn't believe his ears and thought he had hallucinations. Of course, it's not just the principal who has this expression at this moment, and the others are not doing well either. They all have a ghostly expression. I said, I have a request. No, it was the previous sentence. I can donate 1 million to the school. Are you serious? More real than real gold. However, I have a request that if the school agrees, I will donate this money. To be honest, for Yun Tian, which now has a 100-fold recycling system, donating this 1 million is really nothing. Moreover, this can also protect my beloved Teacher Cui from that humiliation. Of course, Yun Tian is not a scapegoat either. Since he has done so, he naturally has his own plans. Don't say it's just a requirement, as long as what you say is true, even if it's 100 requirements, I can represent the school to agree to you. The principal and teachers still have some doubts about the authenticity of what Yun Tian said. After all, he is just a 7th grade student. 1 million is not a small amount. Many people may work hard for a lifetime and not earn that much money. If Yun naively could come up with so much money to donate later, the principal and teachers would definitely only consider him a wealthy second generation. My requirement is that this money must be kept by Teacher Cui. If the school wants to spend money, it must also be approved by Teacher Cui. Yun Tian paused for a moment, his mouth slightly curled up and continued, as for the old computers in our school, there should be around 100 in total. I will handle them all. If possible, I will transfer the money to Teacher Cui now. He really admired himself at this moment. His move was not just about slapping Wang Peng in the face, but also about saving face for Teacher Cui. More importantly, he can honestly recycle all the old computers in the school computer room to the system. Don't look at those computers nowadays, they are sold as scrap and no one wants them, but the school was able to buy them back at a high price. Yun Tian believes that selling each unit for 4,000 yuan should not be a problem. System recycling, regardless of whether it is old, new, or damaged, is entirely based on the original purchase price. It seems that Yun Tian donated 1 million yuan to the school for free, but in reality, Yun Tian earned tens of millions from it. Okay, of course not a problem, I promised you on behalf of the school. As Yun Tian thought, the principal agreed without hesitation. Although Yun Tian said he would hand over the money to Teacher Cui for safekeeping, the money will only be used for the construction of the school. So, there is no difference between this money in the hands of Teacher Cui and in the school account. Of course, in the future, Teacher Cui's position in the school can be said to be a qualitative leap, even the principal must show great respect. As for those broken computers, they are not worth mentioning, and he is too lazy to bother with what Yun Tian wants from those broken computers. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Isn't this me? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Isn't this me? After Yun Tian donated 1 million Chinese coins to the school, his popularity within the school was also unparalleled. Moreover, during his time at school, he also had many privileges, such as evening self-study, which he could attend or not attend. Another thing is to leave the school, as long as he wants, he can go out at any time, which was specially approved by the principal. Originally, Teacher Chui had some objections, but when he heard Teacher O say that Yuntian could perfectly solve the 8th grade equation even if he was sleeping, he, like Teacher O, directly regarded Yuntian as a genius among geniuses. Coincidentally, Yuntian has little interest in the knowledge he has learned. If you're sleeping in class, why not go outside the school for a stroll? Of course, before leaving school, he has a very important thing to do. That is to recycle all the computers in the school computer room to the system. With his current identity at school, he casually brushed his face and asked for the key to the school computer room from the director of the teaching office. Linqing Middle School has a total of 3 teaching buildings, each with 3 floors. One of these buildings is specifically used for laboratories, computer rooms, and other departments. Coincidentally, the computer room is located on the 3rd floor of this teaching building, and there are usually very few people coming, so Yuntian is not afraid of being disturbed. After opening the computer room door with the key, he looked around and found that no one was coming, so he slipped in directly. Without any hesitation, he directly said to the system command, "Xiao Bei, you slutty guy, recycle all the computers here." Looking at the computers in the classroom, Yuntian seemed to have seen hundreds of flower girls without clothes on, and their saliva was about to flow out. This is also normal, after all, these computers are just a pile of garbage to outsiders. But in the eyes of Yuntian, who has a 100-fold recycling system, this is more practical than hundreds of flower girls without clothes on. Ding dong, system detection in progress. Ding dong, 120 large computers have been detected and have been recycled. The host has received 540,000 gold coins. It has to be said that the speed of system recycling is really fast for items of the same type. In less than 10 seconds, the entire classroom had only hundreds of computer desks. The big computers that were previously placed on the table have long disappeared. Sigh, my sister, isn't this gold coin really too much? Looking at the series of numbers displayed on the system after recycling, Yuntian couldn't help but take a cold breath. He really didn't expect these broken computers to be able to recover so much money. At this moment, it's a direct income of tens of millions. Even if it's picking up money, it's not as fast, is it? Xiao Bei, hurry up, exchange it for Huaxia coins for me, it's really great. Yuntian quickly urged Xiao Bei in front of the system. You should know that every time the system helps him exchange gold coins for Chinese currency, it is always his most exciting time. After all, the feeling of counting the string of numbers in the bank card is really amazing. Ding dong, the system has exchanged 540,000 gold coins for 54 million Huaxia coins for you, the host. We have now used the deposit method and deposited it into your agricultural bank account. Please check it. Dear Mr. Yuntian, your Agricultural Bank of China account ending in 9171 deposited 54 million renminbi on October 31, 2018, with a remaining balance of 62,030,909 renminbi. As soon as the system beeped, Yuntian's phone rang and he quickly took it out of his pocket. Looking at the dazzling numbers on his phone text message, he felt like his 24K titanium eyes were about to be shaken blind. 12:38, he held his phone in his left hand and his right hand was counting the balance of his bank card 1 by 1. 5 minutes will pass, 10 minutes will pass, 15 minutes had passed, but still he could hear the constantly counting Arabic numerals from his mouth. There's no way, he's really too excited. What he has in his card now is not a few tens of thousands of dollars but it's over 60 million, how could he not be excited? The phone's battery is low. Just as Yuntian was preparing to count again, his counterfeit phone indicated low battery. Damn it, what kind of junk phone? Why did it run out of battery in just a few minutes? As Yuntian cursed, he took out the phone battery and bit it with his teeth before putting it back into the phone again. Obviously, the results still disappointed him, and it still showed that the battery was low. He shook his head and muttered softly, "Oh, it's just that." It's not that Dad doesn't want you, it's just that you're too disrespectful. As Yun Tian spoke, he pulled out his phone card from his phone. Then, it threw its counterfeit phone directly into the trash can. He is now a big shot with 60 million Chinese coins, and there is no problem with switching to an Apple brand phone. Anyway, he is now a privileged person, and it is impossible for anyone to stop him at any time when he leaves the school gate. If you want to leave school, you have to pass by the school playground. Just as Yun Tian walked to the edge of the playground, he saw many teachers and adults surrounded in the middle of the playground, and there was also a super large crane. Obviously, Yun Tian didn't seem to have much interest in these things, just glanced at them and walked towards the school gate. Cloudy sky. At this moment, the voice calling him came from the middle of the playground, as if it were the principal. Sure enough, when Yun Tian looked towards the direction where the shouting came from, he saw the principal running towards him. Yun Tian also quickly stopped moving forward and asked the principal in surprise, "Principal, may I ask if there is anything wrong?" "Yun Tian, come with me." The principal ran halfway and couldn't move anymore. He waved to Yun Tian and said, "Oh." Yun Tian nodded in confusion and followed the principal to the center of the playground. "Oh, the clouds are coming." Seeing Yun Tian coming over, the teachers quickly gave him and the principal away. Yun Tian suddenly realized that in the center of the teacher's circle, there was a sculpture about 10 meters long lying on the ground. Not to mention, Yun Tian looks really familiar with this sculpture, as if he has seen it somewhere before. "Yun Tian, what do you think of this sculpture? Are you satisfied?" The principal saw Yun Tian staring at the statue thoughtfully, patted his shoulder, and then asked with a smile. "I feel so familiar, it seems like I've seen it somewhere before." Yun Tian looked at the face of the statue on the ground, feeling increasingly familiar as he looked at it. Suddenly, he shouted loudly, "Damn it, isn't this really me?" P.S. New books require recommended tickets and collections. Everyone, please support the author quickly. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Road Traffic Accidents. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Road Traffic Accidents. He really didn't expect that because he donated 1 million, the school would erect such a large sculpture for him. Moreover, it is still erected in the center of the school playground, making it unprecedented and unprecedented. In the future, I'm afraid any student who comes to study at City High School will remember having such a great senior. Accompanying the teachers to participate in his sculpture, Yun Tian took steps to leave the school after his first appearance ceremony. He is preparing to take a taxi to the center of the Magic City and buy some better phones. In his opinion, the broken phones of his sisters should have been replaced long ago. After buying the phone, you can also take a look at Yun Luo, the second sister who works in the Magic City Center. Give her a new phone and give her a surprise. However, schools are generally built in remote suburbs, and if it is a working day, there are usually few taxis passing by. Yun Tian stood at the school gate and waited for almost half an hour, but did not see a taxi passing by. He couldn't help but mutter in a low voice, "Hey, it seems like we need to get a driver's license when we have time, and then buy a car. Waiting for the car like this is really annoying, and by the way, we can also buy one for each of our sisters. Just happen to wait for my second sister's side. Can you ask her to give me a good reference on what kind of vehicle to buy?" Yun Luo, the second sister of Yun Tian, works at a Maserati 4S store. If he wants to buy a car, asking his second sister is indeed a good choice. Just as Yun Tian was thinking about these things, a brand new black Mercedes-Benz G500 stopped straight in front of him. Quickly, a man's head popped out of the driver's seat and asked Yun Tian, "Children, do you need to take a car?" To be honest, Yun Tian really doesn't like people calling him a child. After all, he was a young man in his 20s in his previous life. But there's no way, who said he's just a 12-year-old young lady now? Yes, how much does it cost to go to the World Trade Center? For this kind of private car solicitation, Yun Tian has long been accustomed to it and asked the driver. Well, could you give me 60 yuan? The driver saw that Yun Tian was a child, so he wanted to give him a good comparison, and the price was also raised by the lion. 60 yuan. Why don't you go grab it? I'll give you 20 yuan. If you like to go or not, I'll wait if it's too big. Yun Tian doesn't understand everything. Generally, this type of private car is cheaper than a taxi to attract customers. You should know that even a taxi costs only 25 yuan from school to the World Trade Center. And this guy, he actually asked for 60 yuan when he spoke up. It's really dark enough. Although Yun Tian is now a tycoon with millions, he doesn't want to try the feeling of being tricked. Although he has a lot of money, he is not foolish. Hee, I can't tell you, kid. You know quite a lot. The driver chuckled in admiration at Yun Tian and said, hurry up and get on the bus. After your trip, I have to go pick up our boss. Since the other party agreed to pay 20 yuan for this trip, Yun Tian didn't waste any more time and just got on the bus. After Yun Tian sat down, the driver stepped on the gas and drove straight towards the direction of the World Trade Center. Driver, you're quite brave. If you damage your boss's car while doing private work, you'll probably have to work for your boss for the rest of your life, right? Just before Yun Tian got into the car, he recognized from the driver's words that the car was not his, but his boss's. Yun Tian still admires this guy, who dares to come out with his boss's car and pretend to do private work. As Yun Tian said, if there really is an accident, there is a real possibility that his life will be over. Hee, isn't that because I've been short of money lately? Anyway, this car is also idle. It's quite good to drive it for me to earn some living expenses. The driver was completely indifferent and chuckled, besides, I'm an experienced driver with 7 or 8 years of experience. How could I? Bang! Before his old driver could finish forcing him, he collided head-on with a man riding a bicycle. Moreover, it seems that the man riding the bike was hit and flew 4 or 5 meters away, which frightened the driver. Hurry up and get off the car to take a look. After Yun Tian finished speaking to the driver, he opened the car door and got off. This is a traffic light intersection, and as noon approaches, there are many pedestrians coming and going. In no time, more than 10 melon-eating crowds had already gathered around. Everyone must testify to me, it's his running a red light, it's not my business. At this moment, the driver also hurriedly got off the car and pointed to the green light on the front sign. While asking the onlookers to testify to him, he took out his phone and frantically took photos, hoping to keep the evidence behind. Hey, don't take photos for now, let's see how the people are doing. Yun Tian is also somewhat speechless. Generally, there are cameras at intersections like this, so where else do you need to take photos yourself? Moreover, when Yun Tian was sitting in the car earlier, he had already noticed that there was a dash cam installed inside the Mercedes-Benz. Now is not the time for investigation and evidence collection, but to see who was hit. What is the specific situation? After hearing Yun Tian's words, the driver quickly followed him to the person who had been hit and flown 4 or 5 meters. If this person is really killed by him, even if he is not responsible, his boss cannot let him go. After all, who dares to take a car that kills someone? Brother, are you okay? The driver lightly touched the person lying on the ground and whispered to him. This person looks around 30 years old and has an ordinary appearance. At this moment, there was still a trace of blood on the corner of his mouth, and it was obvious that this just hit him was also causing him a serious injury. Cough cough. I'm fine. Unexpectedly, Yun Tian and the driver struggled to get up from the ground after coughing twice. Are you really okay? Do you want to go see the hospital? For some reason, Yun Tian seemed to feel a sense of familiarity from him and couldn't help but ask with some concern. It's really okay. I'm a soldier and my physical fitness is good, so I don't need to go to the hospital. After the person uttered these words, Yun Tian finally understood why he had a sense of familiarity with the guy. You should know that Yun Tian was also a soldier in his past life, which may be the so-called hero cherishing heroes. Your body is fine, but you've made a big deal out of it, you know. As soon as the person finished speaking, the driver spoke directly to him and said, "You ran a red light and crashed my car into this shape. If I go to a 4S store for repairs, it will cost at least 70,000 to 80,000 yuan. Can you tell me what to do?" End of this chapter.